Today you'll learn how to get started with calisthenics from wherever you are. Hate to do it to you, but this starts with the boring stuff, and specifically what calisthenics actually is, because I still see a lot of confusion. Calisthenics is movement that typically uses body weight as resistance to increase body weight strength, power, and flexibility. Now I say typically because you have weighted calisthenics, which is used as a progressive overload when body weight gets too easy. So from what I could tell when I train calisthenics, you've got about 5 main focuses to base your workouts on, and 3 considerations you might want to keep in mind. First off is push-ups, which you'll need to build a solid base of pushing strength and progress into any exercise that involves pushing from your hands. If you can't do push-ups yet, try starting from a higher position, whether you need the wall or a chair. Then work your way into doing negative push-ups, which are just a slow drop from the top and then start at the top again. The second exercise is pull-ups, which build the foundation for any movements where you have to pull or hang from the bar. If you can't do these yet, try doing them with the resistance band. Or try bodyweight rows, or even negative pull-ups, which are also just a slow drop from the top and then back from the top again. The third focus is core strength, and specifically from the L-sit and hollow body hold, which are pretty much the only core exercises that matter in calisthenics, outside of the superhuman static holds, of course. If you find any of these exercises too difficult, try doing a knee tuck hold, which can progress into a V hold. And when that's comfortable, push off your hands with a knee tuck hold and eventually alternating L-sits to build strength for the actual L-sit. For the hollow body hold, you can bring your hands in and keep your feet out. Bring your feet in and keep your hands out, or bring both in, really whichever is more comfortable for you. The fourth focus is single leg strength and balance. Calisthenics is pretty limited on the mass and strength gaining side, and for your legs, exercises won't really challenge you other than variations of a pistol squat. Oh, besides a sissy squat, which doesn't look or feel safe, so I can't recommend doing that. But the stability and coordination built from training for a pistol squat can easily translate to a better performance in the weight room, so it doesn't hurt to add it if you're lacking there. To build up to this, try doing negative variations from both a seated and standing position once bodyweight squats stop challenging you. The fifth focus is your scapular protraction strength, which will be the foundation for any static holds. And building the strength required to do one properly will also make doing push-ups and pull-ups a lot easier. Now here are the 3 things you should consider. For starters, your hamstring flexibility is more important than you might think. And when I was training to get my first L-sit, I noticed the more flexible my hamstrings were, the easier it was to maintain the movement. The same goes for handstands and practicing your kick up. But not only that, keeping your hamstrings loosened up will also promote better circulation and reduce lower back pain. Get better at this with a straight back first before dropping into a complete stretch. And if you like to get an even deeper stretch, just elevate your feet. Secondly, you should also keep in mind that wrist strength is a huge factor in your ability to perform most calisthenics movements. And if you get those annoying aches after a set of push-ups or training for your handstand or static holds, then use warm-ups that promote wrist flexion and extension before your workouts, and use wrist strengthening exercises as well. You may also want to invest in some wrist wraps or parallettes that help reduce pain and help build wrist strength as well. Now third and final, your straight arm strength is key, and it tends to get overlooked. Everything on the ground stems from your ability to maintain straight and locked arms with a protracted scapula while maintaining a straight arm plank position. This is your base, and from here you can move on to more difficult static holds and harder exercises. I've tried 2 different training styles to effectively make progress with calisthenics. The first is training full body 2 days straight followed by an off day, and then repeating that cycle. The second is splitting everything into a push-pull leg split, and with both training splits, my workouts consisted of 2 to 3 exercises for every push, pull, or leg muscle group. So that's about everything from the ground up, but if you still have questions on how to take calisthenics wherever you go, don't hesitate to let me know in the comments.